Welcome back to part 3 of the Amazon ASIN breakdown of the heating pad. So if you missed the first two, we did go over the organic and PPC system decision flow. And then from there, we did a full analysis of the keyword groups, tried to identify gaps that we could see within it, and then learned a little bit about how to take those keyword groups and to launch them through PPC. Now we're going to dive in and we're going to go through the listing optimization stage. So what we're going to try to answer here is how to analyze the market and the competitors to maximize the offer through listing optimization and split testing. So just a really quick recap, when it comes to ranking on Amazon on the search engine here, what we do know is Amazon's number one goal is to make customers happy. Therefore, they must show the most customer satisfied product at the top. So if we know this about Amazon and we think about how are they supposed to rank all of these products and in a way that will provide them with the most customer satisfied product, that really comes down to conversion rate. So that's what I'm calling the offer. So when it comes to the offer or conversion rate, there's really only two ways to influence that. You either can do it through your product listing, assuming that you can't change your product right now. And if you can't do anything, then you typically do it by price. So generally for me, I like to work on the product listing first, especially because most products don't have that kind of wiggle room in the price because margins are generally already pretty tight. And again, you don't really want to be playing that price war, especially on Amazon. So with the offer in mind, and then coming back to our ranking criteria page or triangle, we know that we need the offer, we need relevancy, which is the keyword stuff, and then we need visibility, which is the PPC stuff. So once we start launching, we generally will get to one of two results. It's either the keyword or keyword group is ranked where we want it to be, in which case we will then repeat for the next keyword group. If we end up not being able to rank for that keyword group, then it leads us down to improving the offer. So there's many ways to do it, as I mentioned, with the consider the price, anything on the actual listing itself. So we're talking about images, we're talking about A+ content, the titles, the bullet points, secondary images, reviews, coupons. So there's a lot of them. However, you do and can influence many of them. So when we're trying to tackle these, we're really trying to understand conversion rates. So we really have to understand the customer. So if you were to put yourself in the customer's shoes, what are the questions that have to be answered? Or what are the things you need to see in a listing or a title or a badge, for instance, to allow you to convert better? Because we know that if you can convert better, you're going to rank for those keyword groups. So once again, I am a founder in Jungle Ace. We do specialize or we focus our software on split testing to allow you to split test. As of right now, we can split test price, main image, secondary images, and title. And really the goal is iterative testing. You got to keep testing to figure out what is going to move the needle and to move in that direction. So with that being said, we also have an AI tool which allows you to pull competitor research data down. So I'm going to go through this. Pulls down market research data based on AI. So I also pulled all of that information down. We're going to go through some of this today, see if we can figure out any gaps and angles between these two. And then we're going to take our actual case study product and we're going to review the product listing for click-through rate on the main image here that shows up in the search engine. We're going to bring it and compare it against our keyword groups, what we found there. And then I'm just going to really break down what each of these images are and what this product could actually do better and so on. So to start all this, I really like to understand the market research side, and I do it looking at 3 different angles. First, I like to understand the industry themes. So First thing, I'm just going to read a couple of these things, try to find out anything that pops up that I might be interested in when I'm creating or reviewing the creatives, the title, the bullet point. The market size, the heating pad market is valued at several million, steady growth rate around 5 to 7%. Okay. Key segments, we got electric heating pads, microwavable heating pads, and chemical heating pads. So I'm going to keep that in mind because those are different types of heating pads. I believe ours is specifically an electric one, so that's really what we're going to be focusing on. Let's see what else we got here. Target users, wellness and health conscious consumers, elderly individuals, and people with chronic pain. Okay, so we have to keep this in mind when it comes to demographics. So we have maybe athletes, people who like to work out, fitness, elderly individuals, so they might be in a bit more pain, and people with chronic pain. So we're going to have to try to show these types of users in our UGC, within our creatives, and even in the titles, even describing it. That could go a long way because you really want to be talking to the user. So I'm going to keep that in mind, that those are the types of users or UGC that we would need here. Major companies. Okay, I'll just keep those brands in mind. Technological advancements. So there's Bluetooth technology controlled via smartphone. Okay, that's interesting. Materials lead to faster heating times. Okay, so there's different materials that could lead to faster heating times, durability, enhanced comfort. Okay. Energy efficiency, designed for less energy, which appeals to eco-conscious consumers. So I'll see if that's going to be in play. I don't think it would be, more so because I could see it in the keyword groups. No one's really searching up anything related to it being eco-conscious. However, there's heavy reliance on pain and location and target of the heating pad. Regulatory environment, so we got safety standards. So yeah, it must meet safety standards. I'll take a look to see if there's many people talking about if this is safe or not. Okay, yeah, so nothing too much there outside of really learning who the target audience is and the types of heating pads available. So consumer behaviors. Okay, so age range mainly adults, age 25 to 60, including middle-aged individuals, commonly purchased by women, but increasingly used by men as well. So maybe having more of a woman focused in the UGC would be important here. Health conscious, including chronic pain, injuries, and muscle tension. Okay, so we'd have to kind of figure out what kind of chronic pain are people having and where. Income level, we got middle to upper class. Okay, so the purchasing decisions, we got effectiveness, relieving pain and comfort. So comfort and pain are really important here. So those are going to be some trigger words for me. Brand reputation, okay, price sensitivity, product features, adjusting heat settings, material quality, size impact decisions. Okay, so size would be important here. We're probably talking about materials, heat settings, okay? And then we got warranty and guarantee, pain points. So we got product quality, sizing issues, cord length. Okay, so cord length would be interesting. We'll see if this might be important for people. It might be one of those things that people might not realize until they actually buy. Different kind of heat levels and comfort. So, okay, buying patterns. So increased sales during the colder months. Okay, that's interesting. Impulse buying, immediate pain or discomfort. Yeah, that does make sense. People who end up having pain and discomfort, they go out looking for a heat pad to solve their current issue. So that price might not be a huge impact there, or price sensitivity. People are experiencing the pain and they want to find a solution. So if you can address that pain and discomfort, that might, well, we'll take a look. That's just kind of my hunch to see if price has an impact when users who end up purchasing this. That could be a potential buying pattern. May replace older models. Okay, online research yet. Okay, so there's nothing that we haven't read yet here. Okay, perfect. Emerging trends, so growth in home, wealth, health and wellness, self-care, demand for pain relief products. Let's see. Convenience and ease of use. So ease of use sticks to me. Comfort, material, okay. Portable options, okay, portable. That would So if we are able to show that we can be battery powered, which I don't think, I think most of these are going to be electric. We'll see how important that one is, but good to know that that would be an angle. Smart technology, so tracking usage, temperature things, okay. Faster heating elements, wireless options, okay. Eco-friendly, energy, sustainable packaging. Okay, so nothing new there. Competitive landscape, okay, so they already mentioned these brands. Brand recognition. Okay, so nothing in the competitive landscape that stands out that would be extra information. Okay, so we're gonna jump into customer themes now. So this one is actually one of my favorite parts of the market research, because we're gonna go through the customer avatar, and then we're gonna go through the emotional triggers. So these actually go hand in hand with one another. So we're gonna read all the different types of UGCs, the things that they're interested in, and then we're going to think about these emotional triggers. We really want to try to integrate as many of these emotional triggers into our creatives, our title, bullet points, etc. Really, because these are the words that we need to say in order to convert that potential buyer. So the first buyer persona that we have is the busy professional. So age 25 to 40 and gender is female. So when I read this, I always have to think, okay, is this going to be our customer avatar for our UGC? So when I'm reviewing the creatives, I want to make sure I hit this ideal demographic range. So occupations, office worker, manager, tech employee. So I just kind of think office working people for this one here. Online shopping, value the most, fast heating, portability, ease of use, and automatic shut off. Okay, so those are interesting features that I'll keep in mind and see if people or competitors are addressing these. Common challenges, so long hours sitting at a desk, tension, and stress. So these are the pain points. So if you can solve these pain points, then it speaks more to the user. So imagine if you had a call out that said something like long hours sitting at a desk, relieve that pain with the heating pad. So you're basically speaking to this avatar where their main pain point is sitting at a desk and they have some sort of pain. Alleviates back pain and reduces stress for long work days. So that might be really interesting. So if you made a product specific to the busy professional, you're gonna want UGCs of somebody who's at work actually using this heating pad for that. But we'll revisit the keyword groups again and see if these pain points kind of pop up. So they want comfort and relief from pain, self-care. So there's not much to do with actual money and the cost of it. They're not very price sensitive. They just want to resolve their comfort and pain. Stress relief, wellness, work-life balance. Okay, so nothing there. Okay, let's go to the next buyer persona. We got the health conscious senior. So age range is 60, male and female, often from retirement. Okay. So chronic pain, arthritis, and mobility issues. So this is where that chronic pain part is. So if we're talking about chronic pain, we want to make sure that our demographic is an elderly person between close to 60s, male or female. They want to provide pain relief and promote relaxation. So pain relief and relaxation stand out to me. These pain points, I do want to call these out. Because if I call chronic pain, arthritis, and mobility issues out, I will be speaking to this user. So these would be trigger words for this particular customer avatar. Okay, so yeah, chronic pain, enhancing quality of life. Quality of life would be a really good call out. Independence, health improvement, and comfort. Yeah. And nothing else that stands out here. Okay, and then buyer persona number 3, we have the active lifestyle enthusiast, so 18 to 35. So this is a younger group, got male and female. Muscle tension post-workout. So this would be fitness, this would be lifestyle. Those that have busy schedules, helps with recovery and relaxation after physical activity. Enhancing performance, recovery, and self-care, achievement. So these are ordered in the same manner of who AI believes is your main buyer persona. So the busy professional, the health conscious senior, and then the active lifestylist. So I would probably agree with that. I would say it would probably be the busy professional and or the health conscious senior. I wouldn't really know if which one it would be, but we'll see if we can figure that out through the keyword groups. But once we can figure out our market, if we can make our creatives that speak to one of these markets better than all of my competitors, then I'm going to get the sale. Okay, so now we're going to jump into emotional triggers. So here we probably know most of them just kind of by reading the market research at the beginning. But we got relief from pain. So that one's definitely number one. And this common theme and trigger has to be mentioned multiple times. Comfort and warmth. So yeah, definitely something we have to do. Improved well-being. Yes. Self-care. Anxiety. Maybe we would have to take a look at, does anxiety come into play? Does it create calmness for people? Easier to use, definitely, especially for the health conscious senior, where tech might not be as easy. Social proof, okay. Versatility, savings on medical bills, gift potential, independence, feeling valued, expert recommendation, maintaining lifestyle. Yeah, so I think maintaining lifestyle would be a big one. Relief from pain, comfort, improved well-being, self-care. Yeah, easy to use. Okay, so I'm going to keep those themes in mind again as I look through the keyword groups and review my competitor analysis. Okay, so product themes. Heating pads provide direct heat to sore areas. Yes, muscle tension. So I have to talk about muscles a lot. Adjustable heat settings, portable. Safety features, soft and comfortable. Communicating USPs, so effective relief, easy to use, customizable comfort, safe and durable. Okay, product in use, everyday application, chronic pain relief, menstrual cramp relief. Okay, so I'll pay attention to cramp. This is the first time it mentioned cramp relief. I believe I did see this in the keyword group, so I'll see how large this one is. Post-workout recovery, again, that's going to be the third buyer persona. Stress reduction, so that's that emotional one, or anxiety reduction. So, okay, differentiations, adjustable heat settings, auto shut off timer, smart temperature control. It's a pretty basic product, so I don't know if you can innovate that much, but we'll see what kind of features everyone has here. Unique packaging, eco-friendly, travel, giftable. Okay, compelling brand story. There might be an angle here, but it's a commodity, so it's going to be a bit harder to have a brand story here. Okay, perfect. Okay, in this last section, I always like to have a read. Generally, this is probably more important now than ever, especially with the introduction of Rufus and how Amazon is pushing answering these questions or sale by questions. So I always just, this is just AI's list of what they think people might have questions on when talking about features, product usage, and maintenance. So generally, you just want to answer these questions within your listing somehow. So whether that's in the creatives, the title, if it's in a review, all of that kind of counts. So I'm not going to go through all of them. I just want to see if there's anything that stands out. So washable, I know I did see this a ton, but yeah, so that's going to be need to be answered. How long is the power cord? So we did see that. Adjustable heat settings, so we got to talk about that. Size, that's important. What's the material? Safe. Auto shut off. Heating pad. How does it actually heat up? Body parts. Okay. Suitable for both dry and moist heat therapy. Okay, so nothing. How to use the product. So I'm not gonna go through every single question right now, but what I will do is once I revamp my entire creative, I will then come back here and see if I've answered most of them or in some way or form. I do have to use some reasoning here, and it has to make sense to me to answer it, but in general, this usually sparks ideas on whether I've captured the typical questions you might see from customers that need to be answered. Okay, so that's the market research side. You can kind of see we went pretty in depth with it, really understood who our customers are and what are the common themes that we need to mention in our own listing. So just right off the top of the bat, from things I'm thinking about pain relief, chronic pain relief, elderlies. I'm thinking about busy professional, Have to talk about ease of use. Um, what else is there? Comfort and warmth is a big one. Yeah. Okay, so let's just move on and see what else we can find. Okay, so customer research. So this screenshot here is directly from Jungle Ace. So we essentially specify all the competitors for this niche. And then from here, what I like to do on this screen in particular is I like to look at every single one of my competitors, their main image and their secondary images, and identify what are they talking about. From there, I will then make a list of all the common themes that generally people are talking about, what the competitors are showing here. So this right now is ordered by sales rank. So I know the guys at the top here are the ones that are driving most of the sales. So I'm going to try to get an understanding of what they're doing and weight their decisions on specific images more than the ones further at the bottom here. The color coding I will explain later, but generally the color coding means that we've addressed it, and the red means we haven't addressed it. So, but we'll dive into that a bit more. And so I'll show you kind of how I go through this. So take a look at so every time I'm looking at the main image, I'm looking and thinking about it in terms of CTR. How am I going to get that click? Because you're just going to do generally better if you can get that click, even though CTR probably doesn't have as much, or it definitely does not have that kind of the same impact that you would improving conversion rates, but getting that click is also very important. Okay, so let's take a look. So this one here is dimension post. We have ease of use. So I'm just trying to understand what kind of themes of images there are. So we got ease of use. We have moist heat therapy, fast uniform heating, machine washable, adjustable settings, pad size, and then GIFs. So you can see a lot of these themes were the same themes that we talked about in the market research section. Here they have packaging. Big call out here is quick heating. They talked about different types of applications. So sore muscles, painful cramps. So yeah, we looked into that. Talked about sore muscles. Has a UGC on the back, shoulder. Okay, this one here is a really good picture of a UGC on the application on the back, and shows how large it is. Even a call out for the back. Convenient. So this is kind of like that portable call out. Adjustable heat settings, machine washable, quick heating, heat distribution. Here's a comparison. This one's a direct call out on the material and gift. Okay. See what else we got here. So yeah, very nice clean image. It also has the remote. The remote is prevalent in all of them. They all show the material in high depth. This one has a high neck arch and shoulder pad, so it really emphasizes how it works. So this is a 3-in-1 from neck, shoulder, and back. Their first image here is GIFs, so that's actually quite interesting. Electric, so they have a call out for electric. They do mention the different types of pain. So I kind of like how they did this here. It really shows the chronic pain in these specific areas by having it red. I imagine customers can relate to that. The demographic we can talk about. It does kind of hit the demographic range. However, I would like to see the UGC in a bit more pain, just because this is what it's supposed to solve. They're not supposed to really be happy with their current situation. But yeah, they kind of did the office style, I guess. So that could be an angle that might resonate with some people. So adjustable, that looks good. Fast heating, again, same common themes. We got the large and the dimensions. Works, controller again, and easy to clean. So we've seen easy to clean often now. This is ours, so I'm just going to skip this one because we're going to go through that one in depth. Here they have a social proof thing on the main image, targeted heat therapy. Here they talk about different targets, so legs, cramps, shoulder, back, machine washable, and moist heat therapy. Dimensions, and then just the box. So this is kind of a waste of an image slot, but see what else we got. So here they got packaging, callouts, warms up in seconds, heating pad. Okay, back pain shows. I like these red elements. They really show where the pain is coming from. Here's one direct on cramps, easy to use, moist heat therapy, gift, keep you warm in the winter. Okay, so they're just calling out some seasonality. I didn't think this would be something big, but we'll note how often this shows up. And then upgraded classic flannel. So talking about the material. I'll do a couple more here because they're starting to repeat stuff a lot. So again, same one. Adjustable, gift, washable, and the pain. So this, again, this is a really good one where it really shows this person in discomfort. The red elements really showing the pain in the shoulders. And it's a call out for the dream outcome, ending the pain. So it has really a ton of focus on pain relief, and I think that's really, really important here. Relax, recover, and heal. So this is about more so about cramps. So even just having a call out on cramps would probably be better because that's what they're actually looking for, as opposed to assuming that that's what they mean here. Full back. So again, pretty good UGC full back, how it would look in real life. Okay, we got double-sided, so talking about material here. Again, this is another important one. Ease of use, moist and dry heat options, machine washable heating pad. I'm going to skip this one. There's not much there. This is a UGC, though, of not elderly, but maybe a little bit older. It's a male, though. Also remember that. Box. Ease of use. This one's, I'm assuming, cramp. They do mention some images here. I do feel UGC might be a little bit better, but this does kind of solve it. It didn't stand out to me immediately, but definitely an interesting way to show that. Dry and moist, ease of use, gift. So, okay, so you see these themes, they're just being repeated over and over again. These all have no callouts, but they're basically showing the targeted area. So that's, you kind of know what's going on, but you definitely need callouts here. Okay, I'm going to skip this one. That one is not specific. Adjustability, this one has vibration. There's different types and sizes. But this is specific to weights. The waist is comparison, safety, pain relief, 10-foot length cord. Okay, so this is something that some people haven't really been talking much about, except this one. Extra large, machine washable LED controller, mainly for ease of use. And adjustable heat settings. Okay, so I think you kind of get the point. They're probably going to get repeated over and over and over again. But we can kind of come up with our list of common themes. Controller, ease of use. So this showed up a ton. Quick heating, uniform heating. Use cases. So for that, specifically, we saw back, neck, cramps, shoulders. I think I also saw legs too. So I'm going to throw that in there. All right. And then they talked a lot about dimensions. They also used a lot of words like large, tons of gifts, tons of machine washable. Talked about comfort and soft. This one related specifically to the material. Moist heat therapy. They also talked about dry heat therapy. And then they threw in comparisons in many different forms here. So, okay, so now we're going to just see, and we're going to go through the actual images itself and talk about and see if we can kind of rip it apart, make it a little bit better. So we're going to dive right into the product listing, and then we'll revisit our common themes and see what images we would have done instead. Okay, so the first one is the CTR side. We're going to see what they did here and things that we can probably do differently. So talking about the product overall, the color choice that they chose, we got teal and the gray. So it does kind of represent like comfort. The color does stand out though. You can kind of tell when you look at this and you zoom back out, like this color kind of stands out in comparison to the grays and the soft tone blue. In this image, they emphasize the neck and the back. As you can tell, they show the product kind of in use with the folded over straps over the shoulders. This here shows, it might not be 100% obvious, but this represents electric here. This also electric adjustable heat settings with the controller. Shows the quilt, so it does kind of show a little bit of comfort there. So one of the things I see is white space. So there's tons of wasted white space here. There's tons of white space here. Even tons of white space here. So none of this area is being utilized. It almost might be better to, if you can blow up this image even bigger, or throw in some packaging, throw in some callouts. Those are the things that I would probably add. So like, because we know that's what everyone else is doing. So I'll just go packaging callouts. Maybe that's something we can do there. There was a person who used social proof. We did see that. Let's see what else. This is styled differently to kind of stand out. I think this is unique to the market though, because it's kind of a neck and back or neck and shoulder. So that one's probably okay. This does show different styles. Yeah, so nothing else really stands out in terms of the image. Things that you could probably try differently. Let's see. It's a lot of front on. This is looking from the right to the left. Yeah, these are things that I'm really trying to identify. We don't know if they're all going to work. The goal, or usually during this step, I'm making a huge list of things I want to split test, and then I'll ultimately test it with Jungois. Okay, so with the image, I think I'm okay there. Let's jump over the title. So what's important with the title is the first 60 characters. You want to be viewing this product in mobile as well as desktop and try to understand what words are showing up. So we want this to be feature rich, but also we want this to be root word rich. So just the title alone, you have the main keyword here for neck and shoulder and back. I chose the brand. I don't think having the brand in here is doing anything for them. So I would almost remove this altogether. They talk about FSA, HSA eligible. So I think in the last video that I did mention that they are taking advantage of this market where a lot of other products are not. So it's like right in their title, weighted, electric, heat, and then the pad gets cut off here. So things that I also like to include here are what are some of the questions these users might be asking, and see if I can address them right in visible in the title. Also, having those root keywords in here are very important because generally those are the keywords people are typing. So we have, let's just compare them. So the ones that they didn't really mention here is pain relief, which is actually the number one thing that should be mentioned. They mentioned the targets a lot. So we have we had heating pad, heating. They mentioned the back. They don't mention pain relief at all, which is definitely a huge miss. Large, whether this is considered large or not, maybe not. So maybe not the best keyword to put in. So maybe they did that on purpose. They talk about neck, shoulder, FSA, HSA, heated, weighted. Didn't talk about knee. Didn't talk about hot. Again, it wouldn't be applicable for the knee though. So again, that probably wouldn't be applied there. Hot, that could be a thing because that's how people are describing heat, like heating. So maybe they type in hot pad. Yeah, so overall, I think they did a pretty good job at adding all the roots in, except the big miss on the pain relief here. So this also in the ads crafted extension, I do pull down estimated monthly revenue. The importance of this number is relativity. So I can understand that heating pad is the majority of it, but there's small markets within it. So electric, people are actually searching with the word electric in it. So that's kind of important. 77,000 in comparison. So it's about 10%. So it's generally important to have that keyword in there. A lot of people were looking for large. FSA, HSA, we identified as huge markets there. Heated, weighted. So weighted is a smaller market, but still pretty large. In terms of back, neck, and shoulder. So in terms of the target areas, people are more interested in back. So if this does a shoulder, but does a little bit of the back, but it's not a full back. So I'll pay attention to the keyword groups again to see how much exposure we have there. Let's see what else we got. Neck comes in second, so we want to be dominating this one, and shoulder, which I believe, based on the keyword groups, that's what we were dominating for. Okay, so that looks decently good. we'll see what else we can find on the keyword group side after we um, finish the CTR side here. So social proof, yeah, so really, really good ratings, really good, um, oops, really good star rating, tons of reviews. So it has more than enough social proof. It has a badge, limited time deal, creates emergency, has the list price here, and then just a really, really subtle call out that's really important. They have an attribute call out for FSA and HSA. So, like I mentioned, they are doing very well when it comes to the HSA, FSA. Let's take a look at what we know about back. I think back where they didn't excel as high compared to everyone else. Yeah, most of these guys are much higher. So even though they are showing up for back keywords, this is the highest demand one. However, they aren't as, yeah, they're not as high. So if I'm thinking about UGCs here, and I had to really pick my images, I would really be putting a lot more focus on the neck and shoulders because I feel like that's what this product would do much better in, which I can really already tell. They are doing much better on the neck and shoulder. Um, we know about FSA, they're doing well. Weighted, they're doing well. Heated HSA, we know they don't have much exposure for hot, so maybe that's an angle that we can do. XL, so now they're not considered XL, so I assume they're also not big on a large. Cramps, they're not big on, but I can see that they might not, their product doesn't match the word cramps. Gifts, so gifts is interesting. We know that a lot of people were talking about gifts. It doesn't make up a lot of demand. Let me see. It does make a lot of demand because of the gifting nature of it. However, these are very, very generic. So I don't see it being a huge factor, or it's at least very seasonal. So I would probably not go after gifts because there's a lot of other ways to improve conversion rates on these other bigger subroutes and routes. What else was there? Large. When I look at, yep. So large, they do okay. There's a lot of other ones that do much bigger or better, but obviously it makes so much sense because this is not a large one. Okay, so we just really want to stay to our lane. We don't want to try to emphasize something that we're not. Of retail space where we can communicate to the users are the other emotional triggers that we wanted to go after. So, okay, so kind of going through this, we kind of get a much better understanding. It does all make sense in terms of the common themes, the market analysis, and stuff like that. Okay, so let's now dive into so we're talking about this product like this main image here. You can also tell it's not vertically uh, the image itself is not vertical, so it's not optimized for mobile. We know there's a ton of wasted space in all these areas, and this is probably part of it. Another feature in Jungle Ace, so what these prompts here are, it's straight from AI. We have AI reading these exact images, and they're going to call out many of the elements in the images, take a look at what is being mentioned in these images to convince the customer to purchase, the emotional trigger. So everything that we kind of talked about before, it's going to talk about it here, but in relation to the image that's actually here. So we do provide these AI image prompts across every single competitor here. So if you're using Jungle Ace, you can click into and expand on these, and then you can view every single image. So we're going to try to look for ones that we really like and the way they say it, and we're going to read these AI prompts to try to really understand their angle. a little bit better. So, but most of these I've already gone through and I've read most of these, and I've identified all the ones that I've kind of um, mentioned within each of these images here. So, the first one, soothing relief with weighted pressure. So we know that in the keyword group side, they do really well with weighted, and I would still stick with that because there is a whole niche on the weighted pressure part of it. So, and we did notice that it wasn't really a common theme. It wasn't huge here. However, we did know that it was, I did see it weighted. So 52,000. So that's not bad. It's definitely a niche that we can target that's much easier. And we know they do it well, right? So right here, compared to all the main competitors over here, they're not talking about it. We know they're not talking about it because we saw it in their competitor research, but we can also see it, well, specifically in this product's image stack. So they talk about the weighted side of it. Don't know how much of an effect this one has. Other things I see, they call out neck and shoulder. Is this the right customer avatar? Maybe it could be. It's the busy UGC. Yeah, I noticed they look too relaxed. I would say go the opposite direction and show the pain. And there's just a little bit too much going on here. Lifestyle is too busy. You don't immediately know that they're talking about weighted pressure, which is key here. So they're clearly converting for weighted, and they're relevant for it based on the data that we have. So again, putting more emphasis on weight is probably pretty important here. This next one, they did talk about weight again, so that's really good. Or you can kind of combine these two together. Maybe talk about pain relief as the first one because we know that's huge. And then the second one here, like pain relief for neck and shoulder, is probably the focus that I want here. And then this one, I would talk more about weighted and maybe the product material because we know that's what's important for people. The brand name here, maybe not as required. Too many bullet points here, talking about too many different things. I usually go with a rule of three. So just have at most 3 bullet points and not many words to it. And they all have to explain what the callout is all about. So here it says upgraded weight beads optimized design. So that's already confusing on its own. So I'd come up with a much better callout there. Surface filling, perfect weight. So what is perfect weight? So we kind of want to be answering a lot of these customers' questions. Overall heating. Okay, so that's like maybe uniform heating. So there's a much better way to describe these things. Close fit, not even sure what that means. Pain relief. So that one's kind of a given. Free hands. Yeah, so there could be a lot more work with these bullet points and to use a lot less of it. Then they throw in comparison, and they only say only the edge is filled for added weight versus this is filled for added weight. So I didn't understand that the first time. Now that I kind of get it, so it wasn't very obvious that they were saying that the competitor only puts it on the sides while we put it everywhere. So maybe a better call out to show that the beads are spread out everywhere, and that's why it's weighted. And then you don't need any of this stuff because this entire thing should talk about only the weight. The main goal when it comes to these images is the customer should know exactly what they're talking about within less than 3 seconds. So again, in this case, talk about neck and shoulder. Show a UGC and talk about pain relief. This one here, I would talk about just weights, weighted. Get rid of all of this stuff here, and really pinpoint why. You can do it by comparison, so that works as well. But why? Why do we need weight in here? And then I'll probably move this weighted one into this one here. This one, they're talking about ease of use. So I did notice there's no call out to that ease of use. Is this the customer avatar? It could. It's right in that range. Ease of use, I would probably target more the elderly user or customer avatar. So I'd probably put an elderly person in here instead of this person. Shows neck and shoulder use. so that's good. Product in use is always good. Talks about adjustable heat settings, so that's good. So that's what people want to know. And ease of use, again, showing the remote up close, 3 buttons, very simple. Next one, heat and shoulder. So again, they are repeating the heat and shoulder one again. Pain relief. They say larger heating area. That's just not true. Because compared to everyone else, it's missing all of this area for the actual thing. So I wouldn't even try to show this because when they compare it against all the other competitors, which we know they do show the full back, they're clearly going to lose on the full back side of things. It's good that they make callouts for neck and shoulder specifically. Yeah, I don't understand really the point of this screen. Maybe instruction manual doesn't really tell me much. This again is a repeat of this, so I would definitely see if I can do something else here. Yeah, nothing else. Okay, so machine wash. So everybody talks about this. However, let's see if so everyone basically has this in mind. So I would almost toy with this because the revenue side here is very small when it comes to washable. Everyone has it, so maybe people are asking those questions. It was in our FAQ too, but I would almost wonder, is it even worth having this as an image? Maybe you could mention it in a bullet point, for instance, and then make better use of this to try to convert. Because is this something that someone needs to know in order to buy? Definitely something to test out, but based on the data that I'm looking at, I would say probably not. Even regardless that all my competitors are doing it, just based on the keyword data and the demand, it doesn't look like it. I found the UGC takes away from the entire image, so my eyes went to this person as opposed to the machine washable. Also, the font and color and choice here kind of really blended in with the actual product, like the washer, so I didn't even really recognize it. These could be blown up, maybe had a shade in the back of it to really make it stand out a lot more. And yeah, there's really no emotional trigger here. So like they just say it's machine washable, but why? Like what's the dream goal here? It's like to make it convenient, to make it easy, and stuff like that. Here, these are kind of two parts. So they talk about the neck dimensions and they talk about the back. So these are actually very important. People want to know the size of these things so that they know if it's going to fit in their body. Also notice how far back it is in terms of the image stack. Like these here should actually be further up here when you're talking about dimensions. And you can also probably combine these two together and then talk about the full dimensions across both of them. But notice the emphasis on neck and shoulder area. They have a neck extension, so that would be interesting or good to know. Might probably don't need to show it. You could probably say it down here. Neck circumference up to 18 inches, or if it goes to 20, just say up to 20 inches. So that would probably be a better way to describe it as opposed to just wasting all this real estate here. There's also no callouts, so it should be like a callout of some sort to fit most users or something like that. And then in their last slide, which I don't really fully understand, but basically this would, in my opinion, is a deterrent and would push someone from not buy it because they're showing all the safety issues with it. This thing is a post-purchase disclaimer. It shouldn't be right out front for everybody because if someone's trying to buy this and then they come into the safety features, they might realize why they shouldn't get this because it shows all the danger signs to not get it. And yeah, that's generally about it. So you can see that this listing, although they are doing very well, there's always room for improvement across the board here. I think their focus is pretty close. They're obviously dominating many of these markets in keyword groups that others are not, like weighted and HSA, FSA. A huge focus on neck and back. I think they are doing well because they are specifically only not neck and back. I meant neck and shoulder. They're doing really, really well in those areas, and they should just stick to those areas specifically. So then if we were to come back to the title, maybe add back probably isn't necessary. I'm just talking about heating pad for neck and shoulders, FSA, HSA for pain relief. What else we got here? And weighted. Weighted is a big one because that they're owning that niche in comparison to everyone else. Yeah, so if they did that, I think they would probably do much better. And again, it's always really, really important to really work to improve your conversion rate because it's really going to just solve everything. Again, I'm just going to reiterate how important it is to improve the offer. If you improve the offer, you're going to improve your rank position. With more rank position, you're going to improve your visibility. With more visibility, you're going to improve your profit and all that. And it even helps on the PPC side of things. If you convert higher on your PPC, your ACOS is just generally going to be lower. So as a result, with this whole system, as you kind of go through the decision flow, you figure out your keywords, you then launch the keywords that you want, the ones that don't make it through successfully, you're going to really want to break down your listing and improve conversion rates. Then it's a feedback system, so you come back to search query performance, understand whether you can rank or if your conversion rate is in actually does do better, and then you just kind of repeat the process. So once you finally understand this process, you just do it over and over and over again. So this is the reason why now that we kind of revisit some of these results by using AdsCrafted and Jungle Ace, we are really able to. They all share very similar trends. So organic rank, because we put a focus on organic rank. We understand where we're going to rank, so we put money towards it. So we see improvement on the organic rank side. When we see that happens, it solves everything. We get more visibility, we get more sales, we get more profit, and tacos will naturally fall, as we can see down here. And the story is generally the same. So we have crafted on this one. We see organic orders get improved right away because we're not spending money. We're spending money in the right areas. So you'll also notice that we're actually spending more money, right? We're spending more money and organic orders went up. In this case, tacos went up. However, so did margin. So there's still ways to improve this, but this is definitely getting improved in the right direction. Let's see what else we got here. So we got another one. So same idea, same concept. Or if you focus your money in the right area with the improvement in organic orders, your sales are going to improve, your tacos is going to improve, your margin's going to improve, and so is your profit. So if you understand this, then these results will not be surprising because you know how the system works. So you just got to play with the system and iterate constantly. So if you really enjoyed this video or this ASIN breakdown, definitely like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again.